Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast, and today's topic is this: they're home. They're home. Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Nico, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. Thanks for listening. Pretty good. Now can we listen to it?
Yep. All right, so as I've been talking about in the last bunch of episodes, my family's been away for the week. I've been solo in the house, and I've had a great time. I've absolutely had a great time. I was a little concerned at first about the week. Concerned is a weird word to use, so having a week off. But, I was lonely, but I definitely made use of it. I saw friends I hadn't seen in a while. Got stuff around the house. I told you about the woodworking projects I did. I surfed a ton and just relaxed. It was awesome. But I was really, really excited for them to come home. And this is a great lesson in expectations and how things go when people return. And so it was not at all what I expected it to be as far as when I saw Nico. So they were coming home in the afternoon. Her mom was picking them up from the airport. I was still going to be at the office, but I blocked off clients towards the end of the day so I could be home early-ish, so we could all have dinner together, have some time before Nico crashed out for bedtime, because I knew he was going to go to sleep early because they were traveling all day with flights coming back from the Northwest. So I was super excited all day long. Couldn't wait to get home and play around with Nico and hear all about his trip and all this kind of stuff. He's 4.5 years old. He's not really gonna sit down and be like, "Daddy, let me tell you all about it. I did this with Grandpa, and I did this, and I saw this, and I learned about this." It did not go that way at all. And the thing that was really a buzzkill was he was so tired from traveling and didn't pass out on the plane, all that kind of stuff, that he just needed to have some movie time and be in front of the TV. So when I came home, I opened the door, I'm like, "Hello everybody, hello," and he was just sitting on the couch, didn't even acknowledge me, was just zoned into whatever movie he was watching. I sat down on the couch, I'm like, "Hey Nico, it's so good to see you," and he's like, "Hi Dad," and just still staring at the screen. And, "Can I give you a hug?" And he's like, "Sure." And he gave me a hug, but still staring at the screen. And it was just like a wah, wah, not at all like the "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, I'm so glad to see you." And that just happens, especially with the little ones. You do get those times where, whether it's from a trip, we haven't had that many trips away from each other or separately, so I haven't had many experiences with that. But definitely at the end of a day, there's certain times where I walk through the door and I'm like, "Daddy's home, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and it's just heart melting. It's so awesome. But a lot of times it's just kind of like, "Oh, hey Dad," or you kind of walk into a blitzkrieg, say the day's gone a little sideways at home and you're at the office or you're away, and you walk right into a tornado, and it isn't at all like the homecoming you would like, but that's just part of it. That happens. And so I tell that story to you, one, to kind of wrap up this kind of journaling that I've been doing about the week away and my emotions that I've been going through as they've been gone. But then also, as it just struck me that, so with Nico just hanging out on the couch, and then he had eaten a ton of snacks and stuff on the plane to just kind of keep him occupied and the like, so he wasn't all that hungry. So dinner, sitting down at the dinner table, it wasn't stressful. It just was work. And bedtime was super fast, and he was so used to being with Mom putting him to bed that I read him a book, but then he wanted Mom to put him asleep. And so it was definitely, as I was saying, kind of a buzzkill, but it was great to have him home. But again, I'm telling this story is because that happens. And if you've had that experience of expecting a homecoming or walking through the door to be a certain way and it doesn't go that way, or if you haven't had that yet, even better, if you haven't had that yet, I just want to put this in the back of your mind that if you experience that and you're disappointed or you're disgruntled or you're a little pissed about it or blame your partner for not setting it up to be this exciting thing, that is just a recipe for disaster, I will tell you. The more you're attached on it going a certain way with your kiddos and in the family, the worse it can be, so it's one of those things where I expect the best, and if it doesn't happen, I might be bummed, but that's just dadhood and that happens and that's parenthood. So if you've experienced that, I know what that feels like, that it's disappointed, but the more often it happens, you realize, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to control that. So if you try to, it's a waste of your energy. It can put out some bad vibes that causes more problems in the family afterwards, and it's just not worth it. So I tell you that story to, one, plant a seed in the back of your mind if you're a new dad and you're thinking like coming home from work or coming home from a work trip or from a separate trip, that it's going to be a certain way. Like, it's not. And then if you are having that as a challenge of when you're coming home from work or your spouse is, or from a trip, and you're disconcerted about it, or you're concerned, or you're wanting to go a certain way and you think someone else should make it go a certain way, it's just not worth the time and effort and energy that you might be putting into it. It's wasted stress that you can devote towards just being more present for when your kiddo is excited to see you and can be more present, not as tired or spent from the day going a certain way while you are out at work or at the office or something like that. So in the post here in the Dadhood Journey Facebook group, if you had an experience like that, share it, tell a story so another dad can have some help and advice, not just from me, but from you as well. Or if you're having a challenge with it and you have some questions, put it there so we can support you, Dad. All right? So until we talk next time, or until we connect next time on another episode, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and be well.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. See you there, and see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Perfect.
There you go, Dan.